Hey y'all, good morning. How's everybody doing? I am on the way to a safari tour. I don't even know what I'm doing, somewhere in the marsh. So I'm on vacation, but I wanted to get on today and I'll get on a few other days this week, and then I know Linda's going to carry it forward from here. So hope everybody had a good weekend. I'm not sure if Leslie and Linda are on yet. But COTD this week, Linda, Leslie, not on. Linda, COT this week.
Let's see. I'm so sorry. Um, we have team meeting, power hour. Not a ton going on this week, I don't think. Um,
We also
extracurriculars, but deals and donuts, all of your regularly scheduled programming.
we also doing breakthrough 120 or no?
No, it was 1 week only, like last week. So we'll launch it again, but then Ignite starts next week on the 4th.
And then anything with team meeting that we need to be aware of?
It's gonna be awesome.
Awesome. All right, everybody. Welcome to Monday. We're doing Win with Sellers. I'm gonna share my screen real quick so we can hop in here. All right. So we talked last week about making sure that we were capturing the lead. Hopefully you can see my screen. And then now we got to connect with them. One thing I would encourage you to do is have a list of questions so that you're leading the conversation. I really like this, what he suggested. He said, if there is a client or a potential client that doesn't want or isn't interested in communicating back with you, it's going to be very difficult to be a consultant and help them. And so one of the conversation starter suggestion that I really liked, it says, I'm a professional and my goal is to sell houses for the best price quickly and for the least amount of trouble. Like your doctor or any other professional service, I have to ask questions to understand your situation. So y'all, if they're not going to communicate with you right out of the gate, they may not be a good fit for you, and vice versa. It's really hard to sell a house if you know nothing about the house or their financial situation. So I'd encourage you to make sure they're asking the right questions. It says avoid pitfalls, not asking questions to get to know the seller and becoming so overly confident that you lose the lead. You've got to make sure you're leading with questions. So I would encourage you to take time to write two different types of questions. The first needs to be what do they want? What's in it for them in terms of the experience they want you to provide, what's important to them, right? Outside of just money. And then on the other side, you've got to understand the full picture of their time frame, what happens if it doesn't sell, how much equity do they have in their home, what did they love about their home, square footage, yada yada. So you need to come at this from two angles. What are they looking for and what do you need to know? That would be something that y'all might want to write in the chat, Linda, so that everybody understands you need to do two different types of questions. What is important to them? And then what do you need to know in order to help create that experience? This is a friendly reminder in terms of DISC assessment. So I love what they said here. It talks about communicating with different communication styles. This was brought up in the regional mastermind. A lot of people are struggling with communicating with sellers. It's because y'all are communicating with them how you think you want to be communicated with, and you're not communicating with them and meeting with them where they are and communicating with them on how they want to be treated. So I say all this, if you're talking to a high D, i.e. me, and you're being really slow, I'm out of the conversation like you have lost me. If you are talking to somebody that is a high C and you're being extremely assertive, it might not go well. So understand the DISC assessment. And this is what it is. So it says the high Ds are assertive. They make decisions easily, determined, they're persistent and direct. They're quick to move and solve problems, and they have a clear sense of direction. This 100% is me. So if you come at me with communicating down here, slow, steady details, I'm out, right? I just need to know, hey, what is my net? How much do you think you can sell it for? And let's move this forward, right? The second, the I in the DISC assessment is sociable. Are you socially confident? Are you diplomatic and tactful? your practice communicator, and your wide circle of contacts and friends. This person is the life of the party. You're going to have to make a home selling process fun for them, right? Let them know you're going to do a fun open house. Let them know you're going to do this incredible party of a broker open. That's what these folks want to hear. Down here, structured. They want to be right. If you try to tell this person that they're wrong, they are not going to work with you. A structured person wants to be right. They're detail oriented, they're accurate and thorough, and they follow rules and established procedures. This person right here is going to want to go over every single line item on your Tennessee Association of Realtor contract. So you might as well go over with them. They're going to look at, they're going to want to look and see where it's forecasting, where it's going, and where it's at right now. If you don't lead with that, you're likely to lose. This person is steady. This is the C in the DISC assessment. They listen intently, calm and demeanor. I would scare this person if I do not change my behavior. They're emotionally controlled. They're not flighty or whimsical. And when expressing a feeling or opinion, others are likely to trust, right? And so understanding this is the D, which is assertive. This is the I for social. This is the S, they're structured. And this is the C, they're steady. And so when you're asking questions, you're going to tell by their body language and how they're responding what type of personality they are. And you've got to meet them where they are if you want to communicate with them. This is also important, not when you're trying to get the deal. It's when you're putting together the deal and you're in negotiations with the other party. You want to understand this as well. So they gave us a few examples over here, which I think is good for y'all as a refresher. It says customer number one. I've done quite a bit of detailed research already and talked to others in my neighborhood and already have a price in mind to sell my house for. I'd want to set all the data. I want to see all the data you have on the neighborhood before I make a decision to work with you. Which style is this? Somebody unmute yourself.
Structure.
Structured. Second, I don't have time for a bunch of phone calls and meetings. Tell me what you think this home should be priced, and let's see if we can get it done. Which one?
ID. Assertive.
Assertive all day long. I've lived here for 10 years and seen a lot of change. Our neighbors now own several houses in the neighborhood. We got 2 new neighbors this year. I really, wait a minute, says I really keep up with all the going on in the neighborhood.
Sociable.
I would say sociable. I think you might have a little bit of steady too, right? So they could be, y'all, most people have 2 that they lead with. I would say sociable and steady. Customers 4 and 5. Number 4, we really need to get this home sold. Which one?
I would say assertive.
Yeah, I did. I'm just not sure about the listing price. Which one?
Steady.
I would say steady. Yeah. So understanding this, y'all, I think we need to get back to when we're negotiating and we're talking to the client, it's not just about what's in it for us. Obviously, it's about what's in it for them and understand the type of communicator they are and the type of personality profile they are. I think sometimes we get off of that when we're just trying to deliver information. And what happens is we've missed communicating most effectively with them. So they also, here, let me share my screen again so that you can see this. I would also encourage you, if you look at these personality profiles, of course, I can't find it now. If you look at the personality profiles in the DISC assessment, ask chat to create certain onboarding questions for a high D, a high I, a high S, and a high C. And that way you can pivot during the appointment so that you can make sure you're reaching them when you're actually asking the questions you're asking. And it's a great way for y'all to get to know them before your appointments. You could even in your pre-listing packets ask questions to find out what type of personality profile they are so that you can make sure you structure your listing appointments accordingly. Everybody in the regional mastermind was saying, hey, we need to be better counselors and psychologists and understanding how they want to be communicated with instead of us trying to just fit everybody in one box. All right, everybody. Tomorrow we're going to do AI. we'll talk about that. And then MREI. What are our page numbers in MREI, Linda or Leslie? They'll put
Leslie,
it.
I say Leslie
Hold on, I'm
posted
pulling
in
them
the
up. I
Facebook
don't have them
group.
off the
Yeah.
top of my head. Give me just a second.
They'll put them in the Facebook group so that y'all are prepared with that. Other than that, y'all let me know if you need anything. I think one thing y'all need to be aware of, fallout is high right now. A lot of deals are falling out, and that's happening across the board. And interest rates are going up a little bit. So make sure that you're prepared to communicate with your client efficiently. And the best way to doing that is understanding their personality styles and meet them where they are. So I would encourage you to slow down to speed up.
We're reading through page 51.
Wait, what now?
Through until you get to the next header on page 51 is what we're reading through.
So we're up to page 51 on MREI. So y'all have plenty of time to catch up there. But button up your contracts. Y'all let me know if you need anything. Make it a good one. Make it count. Bye, everybody.